Azealia Banks goes on offensive MLK rant in wake of Sexyy Red AI photo. Bernice King gets involved. It's an interesting story. Put it up for a mass. Let's get into it. Recording artist Azealia Banks went on an offensive rant against Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his daughter, Dr. Bernice King, after rapper Sexyy Red apologized for posting an AI-generated image of her and King. Sexyy Red came under fire after sharing a photo of herself and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. online, as well as King's daughter, Dr. Bernice King, were livid after seeing an altered image the rapper uploaded on January 20th, which was also Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Bernice would write, quote, "This is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful to my family and my father, who is not here to respond himself because he was assassinated for working for your civil and human rights and to end war and poverty." Bernice began in her rant to the St. Louis rapper, "Please delete," end quote. Beautifully said. The King Center CEO made a point to reiterate, quote, "I don't believe Sexyy Red to be a degenerate, ghetto, or trash. I have spoken out in the past about the use of and comparison to either my parents to denigrate other people." Now, Dr. Bernice King is a beautiful soul. What she's doing is talking about the people who would come after individuals who come after her father or her mother. She's saying none of it is right. None of it is appropriate. Okay. Bernice continued, quote, I don't understand this type of use of my father's image on MLK Day, no less, in a way that does not convey what we know to be true about his service and sacrifice. Even if you disagree with him or his tactics, or even believe things said about him by people who hated him, why do this? Sexyy Red eventually caught wind of the backlash, removed the offensive post while offering an apology to Bernice. Quote, "You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Never meant to disrespect your family. My apologies. Just reposted something I saw that I thought was innocent." She wrote, "Bernice publicly and sincerely accepted the apology, expressing, quote, please note, it was not my intention that you be denigrated. I value you as a human being." Okay. Now, however, let's put it up. Azealia Banks decided to insert herself into the conversation with a reply to Bernice writing, "Your married father was having a drunken orgy with white prostitutes paid for with church money when he was assassinated." Now, another. Wasn't MLK assassinated in the motel room during an orgy with white prostitutes? I refuse to believe Sexyy Red reposting AI photo is anywhere near how disrespectful corporate America has been using your father's likeness to sell everything from hat pins to donuts. To get real, Banks' long rant will continue. Sexyy Red was literally showing dancing fully clothed in an AI-generated image, and you greasy, peasy, self-righteous, canned collard green, pork-eating cornballs are so addicted to these meager-ass examples of, quote, good Negro housekeeping, end quote, and try to police anyone who doesn't fit the slow-moving, obese, diabetic, kangaroo and disrespectful, cataracts, high sodium, and collection plate roll to a T. Bernice King was unnecessarily disrespectful to Sexyy Red, calling her deplorable for a effing fake image of her holding Dr. King's hand, LMAO, end quote. There's more. Did you ask Bernice if she gets a cut of any of the money Hallmark makes selling cheap MLK greeting cards during Black History Month? Tell her to get her greasy A on Amazon and have some words about Jeff Bezos allowing in millions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, the rant is, I mean, long. Like personal nerve is hit. Full of lies and obviously conclusions not based in the reality of facts. And then it goes into this self-righteous monologue while claiming that others are self-righteous themselves. It is quite telling. What's really happening here? I said this a few years ago. I said at some point they're going to come for King. And especially to moral people. I don't care what race you are, to people of morality, to people that care, to people that fight the good fight. We are all human. And we have all fallen short. And we will continue to do so. It is not the fall. It is the willingness to get back up. You know the courage of Dr. King? Let me be frank with you. He got a brown envelope. Look up the history. FBI sends him a brown envelope. Says, if you keep doing this, if you keep freeing people, if you keep talking about their rights, if you continue to do this, we're going to release all these things about you. He had a decision to make. I mean, my goodness, I don't want everything that I've ever done in my past to be front and center publicly, nor do you. Did he cower? Did he shrink away? No. He became more emboldened. He was more empowered because he loved you more than anything else. And that's the reality. And I said some years back, eventually they're going to come for Dr. King because Dr. King is that moral stance that both Republicans and Democrats, black, white, brown, etc., regardless of political affiliation, they try to get a piece of that. They try to get a piece of that righteousness because on Dr. King Day, they would all celebrate Dr. King, regardless of party affiliation. This great moral character. I said, one day they're going to come after that because they will come after Dr. King as a proxy to come after you next. That's what's happening. It will not be done on my watch, and I hope it will not be done on yours. Sharon, thoughts here?
Number one, thank you, Doc. Thank you for that perspective. As you began telling this account, I said, boy, what a beautiful story, because you first related the offense and Dr. King rightfully, Bernice King, calling it out. And then Sexyy Red, this hardcore rapper, I don't really agree with it, but I have a 13-year-old who loves her. Y'all check out her lip gloss line or don't. But she did a beautiful thing. Yeah. Give Sexyy Red credit too. Both women showed grace and dignity here. I don't understand, as you read those vile postings, why there's so much hate. What was Bernice King's offense again? Her father was murdered? I don't understand any of this. Or who amongst us, as you said, is so perfect that you think that you can point the finger and say these vile things. We got to get all the way together. Thank goodness you have a voice in this.
Thank goodness you have a voice as well, my dear sister. I appreciate all that you continue to do. We have to be reminded of our own humanity at times when we begin to be self-righteous against others.